under the Christmas tree.
Walking tour people, do come in close as you can, please. We're about to begin. Do come in. First things first, a very warm good afternoon to everybody. Thank you so much. My name is Mr. Elliot. It's my real name. I shall be your guide today. I'm going to take you around this amazing city. I'm going to show you the history. I'm going to give you the scandals and dirty secrets of the town as well. But there are two golden rules of this tour, my friends. Rule number one, if I do this, it means come closer. I'm about to tell you something naughty, something scandalous. I don't want anyone else to overhear. Rule number two, very, very simple indeed. If I do this, huzzah, you have to join in. It's the 18th century way of saying hooray. Let's try it now after the count of three. 1, 2, 3. Huzzah! Now the first bit of the tour, we're going to walk over here. I'm going to ask you to stay as close as possible. You can see there's many, many people around. So we have to huddle up as much as we can to get through all this big crowd. It won't take long. Do follow me. Let's go. Run. You're young and fit, aren't you? The opposite of me. Has anybody been to Bath before?
Yeah.
You have?
Yeah.
You have? It means I can't lie about everything. Is that a bird? Oh, yes. We'll walk over here. That's a bird right there. So do gather around, my friends. Do gather around. I do apologise for the number of people who are here today. It's a Christmas market. It's very, very busy. So normally we'd be over there for this first bit. The first bit of this tour, I need to tell you about the foundation of this great city of ours. Now, you've probably heard about the Romans. Everyone's heard about the Romans, right? This is a Roman city dating back to, well, about 46 AD to be accurate. But the city itself goes back much earlier than that. The Celts used to live here. I'm sure you've all heard of the Celts. But there's a very interesting foundation story which is 100% true about the foundation, the very first day of this magnificent city. Let me take you back. Come in. Let me take you back in time to the 9th century BC. Many, many hundreds of years ago, right? Ooh. Now, the king of the Britons, his name was Lud Hudibras. You can look him up. He's a real man, real king. And he's the founder of London, no less, as well. Now, he has a son and heir. His name is Prince Bladed. He's also real. He's about to inherit the throne, but he has contracted a disease called leprosy. And he starts wandering around this countryside all alone, except for a herd of pigs, who unfortunately also have leprosy. Until one magical day, that is, in 863 BC to be exact, they come here, to Bath. Now, there's nothing here. No buildings, no people, not even many trees, but there is a giant hot mud bath roughly where the Roman baths is. And when you're talking about a mud bath, we're talking about a giant hot mud bath. Now, we all know what pigs are like, don't we? Now, these pigs, they see the mud bath, they jump in. They waddle around, they have a really good time, and then they refuse to come out of the water. It's nice and warm, especially on a day like today. Now, the prince, he starts to worry about this. That's his only friends, that's his only food. And then he remembers he has some acorns in his 9th century jeans. He takes them out, he puts a trail up on the ground, he gets those piggies to come out of the water because they're hungry. When those pigs come out of the water, he notices they have been cured of their leprosy because of the water. Huzzah! Huzzah! Now the prince looks at the pigs, he looks at himself and he thinks, that's not fair, they look better than I do. And then he thinks to himself, perhaps he can be cured too by jumping into the water. He does. He jumps in. He wallers around. He has a really good time. But was he cured, sir? You don't know? Do you, sir?
Maybe.
Maybe. Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes. Good answer. Good. Good. If you said no, that was the end of the tour. We'd all be going home. So well done. He was cured. He goes home. He reclaims his throne, his rightful position, and then he eats roast pork for 3 months. And then he puts on this very spot, he founds the great city of Bath. Huzzah!
Huzzah.
My friends, I want you to look over there. This fantastic bridge. It's called the Pulteney Bridge of Bath. It was built in 1774 by Sir William Pulteney, hence the name Pulteney Bridge. It is unique, the only one of its kind in the country, because it has shops and coffee houses on both sides running in full span. There are 2 other bridges in the world of which I'm aware of which are similar in this regard. One is called the Ponte Vecchio, and the other one is the Rialto Bridge. The Rialto Bridge is in Venice, of course. Ponte Vecchio is in Florence. I'm sure you've seen them. They're beautiful bridges. After the count of 3, we're going to say his name together. 1, 2, 3.
Andrea Palladio.
He was a 16th century architect, directly responsible for bringing back to European taste the style and form of the ancient Romans thank you, as part of Renaissance. Okay, this style and form of architecture becomes incredibly popular, I know, in the Georgian period when most of the city was built. Most of the city was built in the Georgian period, and as you look around today, it's in the same style. It's called Palladian architecture after his surname, and Bath itself is known as a Palladian city. Southampton rocks. This is the central location of Bath. Unfortunately, it's very, very busy, but we have the 3 most important things. The Abbey, the Roman baths, and just over there, the pump rooms. We're going to have to do the first 2 standing here, I think, because it's so busy, but we'll be able to get along to the pump rooms later, don't worry. Now, this Abbey, it's beautiful, is it not? It's quite stunning. It's been here in the shape and form that you see by around about 1499. That's an important date to remember. There is a quiz at the end of the tour, by the way. This used to be a cathedral, my friends, built by the Normans in the 12th century, twice the size of what you see today. The foundations are still there, and if you go inside, you can actually see the foundations under one of the back rooms there, in a grill in the floor. It's quite stunning. Now, it used to be inhabited in the 15th century by Benedictine monks, who used to famously brew alcohol here. And famously, they used to drink alcohol here. And famously, they drank so much of it, it caused a major, major scandal. And I'm going to have to ask you, so my friends, these Benedictine brothers living in a cathedral here, having a lovely time, they weren't doing any work. The cathedral itself was falling down. They were brewing alcohol, drinking alcohol, much worse. They were keeping company with members of the opposite sex inside the church. Do you see the statue of the fine man over there? That's Henry VII, a famous and skinny king of England. I didn't like him very much. Now, he heard about this rumour, and he didn't like that. So he sent some spies back into this city of ours to find out what was really going on. They did. They wrote a report. I have read the report, and it states a simple fact that the lowest of monk, just an average everyday monk, had at least 3 women each inside the cathedral. The head monk was in there with 8, all to himself. So he wasn't allowed to carry on. He sent the Bishop of Bath and Wells back to the city to stop all the fun, stop all the drinking, kick the girls out, stop all the brewing, and also convince the monks and the people who lived in the city to give him the money to pay for the restoration of the cathedral and continue it into an abbey is what you see today. Now he succeeded by 1499 doing all of that. And you're thinking to yourselves, why? If you were a happy monk, enjoying yourself inside a cathedral, brewing alcohol, drinking alcohol, looking after your lady friends, why would you stop all your fun? And why would you hand over your money to the bishop himself? Why? But I know the answer. Medieval men and women were very superstitious. They believed the world was going to end by the year 1500. The half millennium. They believed it was going to be the second coming of Christ, the end of the world. So, when it was 1495, and the bishop came to town and said, brothers, what are you doing? You can't do this. You've got 5 years left. You're not getting into heaven. But if you kick the girls out, stop the drinking, give me the money to pay for the restoration of the church, maybe, just maybe I can get you back in. They believed him and they did everything he said. It's very, very sad indeed. But the good news is, the world did not end by 1500. Huzzah! The bad news is, not a single decent party has been had inside that building since that date. It's a waste of a church, if you ask me.